Okay, so let's take a little different situation. Suppose I have a retail store.
Okay.
And I have an employee, and we know we have a sales meeting, and we announce to the employee that we're going to be marking down our summer line of slacks by 50% next week.
Sure.
And that employee goes out on Twitter or Facebook and says that, well, let's say it's Facebook, because Facebook, can I have my friends?
Sure.
So I want to give my friends a preview that the place I work is going to have this big sale on summer slacks. Isn't that a nice thing to do for my friends?
Sure. So you need to think about, A, does your company authorize that? Perhaps your company's even hired you or this employee for their wide network of friends. And so personal branding becomes a huge consideration for hiring practices. You hire Bob because Bob already has 1,000 people following him on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, but I don't think very many people are that far along. I think it's more like, I'm running this ad. Instead of a 1 week, it's like 3 weeks from now, and I don't want to announce it because I want to have 3 weeks of selling at the regular price.
Sure. So if you don't, that's clearly an example of proprietary, confidential information that a company does not want to release, and so needs to very clearly set parameters over what is and what is not okay when using social media.
So I have to, when I hire people, I guess if I'm somebody running a business today, I ought to tomorrow go out and put together a social media policy.
Yeah, it's a good practice. It doesn't, if you don't have a social media policy, it doesn't mean none of these things are actionable. It's not like not having one makes someone doing these acts okay. Most of the time when an employee signs on, they're signing confidentiality agreements. They're signing perhaps non-compete agreements. The social media policy is a friendly reminder that perhaps you should practice good judgment when you're using these online tools. And I know it's easier for you to disclose this big sale we're having in 3 weeks, but you better think about it before you even attempt to use a medium like Facebook to disclose that to your friends. Because if I find out that you did do that in violation of your confidentiality agreement, that's actionable. The employee's looking at a pretty severe lawsuit.
Do I, as a business owner, when I'm sitting in the sales meeting, do I need to say to my employees, now we're having the sale in 3 weeks, this is confidential information,
yes.
You can't disclose this?
Yes. If you want to mark something as confidential or proprietary, it's important for you to act like it is confidential and proprietary information. Otherwise, the line blurs and it's difficult for any communication to come out. And most companies do have a procedure with which they allow press releases to come out and say this is information that's authorized for distribution, this needs to remain confidential until XYZ date.